Please, can you please be seated? Also seated on the high table is a lion himself. He was the president of Surulere Lions Club, I think 2001, 2002 Lions here. He will be telling us more about his Lions journey. He ran away, but will now open the cage, and himself, he walked into the lion's den back gently. So please make welcome Lion Professor Wale Oke. He's a former CMD, Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, and currently the Provost, College of Medicine, University of Lagos. You are welcome, sir. Fellow
the District Governor of District 404B2 Nigeria, Lion Kayode Oshinoda, the District Governor, District 404A1, Lion Fortune Wabasoma, all members of the Council of Governors here present, the representative of the World Health Organization in Nigeria, our keynote speaker, Lion Professor Wale Oke, all Lions of the International Associations of Lions Clubs, multiple District 404 Nigeria, invited guests, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. In Lionism, yes, sir. I bring you warm greetings from the governor, the government, and the good people of the state. I especially congratulate the multiple council chairperson, Lion Anobili, the members of council, and all Lions of Lions Club Multiple District 404 Nigeria on the occasion of the 44th Lions Day of the United Nations, which also represents 76 years of partnership of Lions Clubs with the United Nations. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, fellow Lions, as we all know, from a meeting of a few businessmen in 1917, Lions Club International has grown to become the largest service organization in the world, with over 1.4 million members in 47,000 clubs in 206 countries. Every day, Lions all over the world use their time, their treasure, and their talent to improve their communities and the world. Lions have made significant contributions to the development of humanity, even in the most remote, needy parts of the world. They respond to natural disasters and war-created emergencies. As we all say, where there's a need, there's a lion. The choice of the theme for this year's celebration, NGO Impact on Global Health, is apt and instructive as the world recovers from a devastating global pandemic. The COVID pandemic has exposed loopholes and weaknesses in healthcare systems around the world and exposed the large divide between access to adequate healthcare in rich and poor countries. An example is the vaccine inequity, which we experienced at the rollout of the COVID vaccination program. We acknowledge the tremendous effort and impact of Lions Clubs International in areas of diabetes, vision, childhood cancer, immunization, which they also done successfully with organizations like Gavi, but there is still a lot more to be done. Lions Club International and other NGOs must, in addition to providing services and donations, help to strengthen institutions by providing guidance and support during the development of health policies. The responsibility for providing healthcare lies with governments, with NGOs like the Lions Clubs providing support and backup. Distinguished guests, the government and people of Ogun State are happy to partner with the International Association of Lions Clubs, multiple District 404 Nigeria. We have over 50 Lions Clubs in Ogun State, spread across districts 404A1, 404B1, and 404B2. And we're home to an LCIF-funded eye clinic in Otta, with plans underway for a dialysis center as well. In addition, Lions have sponsored many health awareness campaigns and medical outreaches in the state over the years, and we're most appreciative of all that the Lions do for us. At this point, let me note that no government anywhere in the world has the monopoly of funds to undertake all its development programs. In tandem with the Building Our Future Together agenda of the administration of Prince Adewale MFR in Ogun State, we look forward to strengthening our relationship with Lions Clubs, and let me assure you that you will find us ready, willing, and worthy partners. Once again, I felicitate with the multiple council chairperson, my dear sister, Lion Adewale and Obili, the chairman and MD coordinator for the planning, my brother, Lion Adewale, and all members of Lions Clubs District 404, Nigeria, on this commemoration of the 2022 Lions Day with the United Nations. I commend the planning committee and all those who have made this event a reality for the hard work. And as we look forward to the fruitful deliberations from our guest speaker, I thank you all for listening, and God bless. In Lionism, we serve.
The council chairman person and our host, Lion Omololaite Anobili, the past international director, engineer H.U.B. Lawal, the United Nations representative who is on the way, Dr. Walter Mulombo, the district governor, the people for the Lion, district governor, B1, all council of governors present, PGDTOS, I think, Lions United Nations coordinator. Let me recognize a very respected Lion who I worked under, and that's Lion Alex Rosime. Fellow Lions and Leos. Titled The Role of NGOs in Global Health Research for Development by Delis, Report, and Moreau et al. And it goes like this. Each country needs to be able to generate knowledge relevant to its situation to allow it to determine its particular health problems, appraise the measures available for dealing with them, and choose the actions likely to produce the greatest improvement in health. This should not be seen as an exclusive preserve of universities or research or states, but equally of health to public services and non-governmental organizations, etc. Formal international cooperation in health dates back to the mid-19th century with the calling of the International Sanitary Conferences to reconcile the need for agreeing to quarantine procedures that will prevent the spread of diseases, particularly cholera, without unduly disrupting rapidly growing international trade. In 1892, the first treaty was agreed on cholera. This was followed in 1903 by a consolidated treaty covering cholera, plague, and yellow fever. These agreements were the forerunners of today's international health regulations administered by the World Health Organization. In 1902, a meeting of American countries established the International Sanitary Bureau, which ultimately became the Pan-American Health Organization. Non-governmental organizations have been defined by the World Bank as private organizations that relieve suffering, promote the interests of the poor, protect the environment, provide basic social services, and undertake community development. These activities can be local, national, or international, and have contributed to the development of communities around the world. They are important partners of many governments while remaining independent from government. According to the Human Development Report in 2002, there are over 37,000 NGOs in the world, a growth of 19.3% from 1990. Their purpose differ, but overall two categories dominate:
the Economic and Infrastructure Department, the Development, and of course, Research. NGOs are generally regarded as valued partners in health research for development. Research being viewed as a broad process involving not only the production of knowledge, but also upstream and downstream activities needed for its relevance and effectiveness. They have made and continue to make substantive contributions to supporting relevant and effective research. In her address at the first steering committee meeting of the International Conference of Health Research for Development in 1999, the then Director General of the WHO, Dr. Grohalem Brundtland, voiced her appreciation of NGO as partners with the Health Research Unit of the World Health Organization. A major issue in global health is the inequitably good distribution of research efforts and funds directed towards populations suffering the world's greatest problem. This imbalance is fostering major attempts at redirecting research to the health problems at low and middle income countries. This presentation is a review of the role of NGOs in global health, and it will highlight some of the prevalent thinking, and it's intended to encourage new thinking on how NGOs can further enhance their role. NGOs are organizations formed and are independent of the government and government influence and not for profit. Many are active in humanitarian causes and have high degree of public trust. They act as a lobby group for corporations, and they include clubs and associations that also provide services to members. They must be politically independent, serve the public interest, be non-profit making, and do not accommodate criminality and violence. NGOs started as a voluntary service to the needy and helpless, and were rendered by people with varying motives. Around the late 18th century, organizations were constituted to render these activities in a more organized manner. In 1945, the term NGO came into formal use, and from the late 1980s, and have assumed a far greater role in development. They have become an alternative to public sector service delivery and brought fresh solutions to long-standing development problems associated with inefficient government. There are an estimated 10 million NGOs worldwide, and the financial donation to NGOs has increased from 1.2 billion in 2011 to 1.4 billion in 2014. By 2030, the number is expected to grow to $2.5 billion, and it has been estimated that if NGOs were a country, they will have the 5th largest economy in the world. NGOs are classified by the type of activities undertaken. Activities like protection of human rights, consumer protection, environmentalism, health or development, and their level of operation indicates the scale at which the government works, as they may operate locally, regionally, nationally, or internationally. The World Bank classifies NGO as operational when it is associated with the provision of relief, labor, managerial expertise, poverty alleviation, and advocacy, where specific causes need to be articulated and promoted. Kindly allow me to mention a few NGOs that people don't often hear about. There is the Wikimedia, which assists in the sharing of knowledge globally. There is the Partners in Health, the Global Health and Social Justice Organization, that responds to the moral imperative to provide high-quality healthcare globally to those who need it. There is the Oxfam, which is the global movement of people working together to end the injustice of poverty by tackling the inequality that keeps people poor. There is the International Rescue Committee, another NGO that responds to the world's worst humanitarian crisis, helping people to survive and rebuilding their lives. And of course, we've all heard about the Medicine Beyond Borders, which provides medical assistance to people affected by conflict, epidemics, disasters, or exclusion from healthcare. The Danish Refugee Council is a leading international humanitarian displacement organization supporting refugees and internally displaced persons. It is noteworthy that some NGOs are faith-based, and examples of these are the Catholic Relief Services, an international humanitarian agency in the Catholic community in the United States of America, the Christian Aid and the Lutheran World Relief, which tackles global poverty by helping people adapt to the challenges that threaten their livelihood and well-being. Other notable philanthropic foundations, which we all hear about virtually every day, is the Bill and Melinda Gates, Atlantic Philanthropies, Rockefeller Foundation, Clinton Global Initiative, and the Ford Foundation. They all exist and they're all performing excellently well. Covered by global health are research and practices that prioritizes improving health and achieving equity in health for all people worldwide. It emphasizes problems that transcend national borders or have worldwide political and economic impact. It focuses on worldwide improvement in health and reduction of health disparities, protecting against global threats that disregard national borders. I'm certain that everybody is aware of the legendary WHO, an important agency associated with global health. Global health developed as a discipline in the mid-19th century in the United Kingdom, in Europe, and the United States of America. It focuses on population, social justice, and equity. More recently, it emphasizes a greater scope of health problems and solutions that transcend national boundaries, requiring greater interdisciplinary approach and emphasis on prevention of diseases as well as attending to disease elimination and cure. To be truly global and all-encompassing, global health should also cover social sciences, behavioral sciences, law, economics, history, engineering, biomedical sciences, and environmental sciences. In order to make a significant impact on global health, any NGO worth its salt should, in addressing global health, bear their focus on pandemics, environmental issues, economic disparities, access to health care, political issues, disease eradication and elimination, non-communicable disease in point, and animal health, food sourcing, and food supply. In the management of pandemics, several measures need to be put in place to control or eliminate pandemics. Emergency funding, critical service to vulnerable groups, and support to the government in policy setting, which must be provided. Medical facilities and equipment must be readily available, in addition to the provision of technical support and medical expertise. It is important to bear in mind that food and hygiene kits should be provided to the poor during lockdown. Vital risk communications activities must work together with all these services to be effective and efficient. In the year 2020, the Lions Club International Federation worked with clubs around the world and monitored the coronavirus, COVID-19 pandemic. During the lockdown in India, with the help of local police and service volunteers, a vast majority of food grains, food packets, medicines were distributed. Many Lady Lions cooked and distributed food in the initial period, and in so doing, they overcame their own fear of getting infected with the virus by practicing hand washing, mask wearing, and maintaining social distancing as far as possible. At home in Nigeria, the Lions Club International Multiple District donated of 5 million naira to Lagos State to support the fight against coronavirus-19 pandemic. The Ikeja Unique Lions Club also lends its voice to the tremendous effort to curtail the spread of virus by both government and private organizations. Palliatives were donated and distributed to support the less privileged and essential workers, to cushion the effects of the lockdown in the Lagos State, the federal government, the Federal Capital Territory Administration, and other states to ensure residents fully comply with medical advisories to curb the spread of COVID-19. The steps an NGO must adopt are to create public awareness on key environmental issues, protect natural resources, and ensure that these actions are used equitably. Data on natural resources and human impact on the government must be generated. It should also be able to analyze and monitor environmental quality, and lastly, develop advocacy and facilitate stakeholder participation on these issues. It has been estimated that about 40% of the global population is affected by water scarcity. So this is one major thing I think we should focus on. Air pollution impacts 4.2 million people globally every year, and that the world loses 18.7 million acres of forest annually, and they are not planting. If you bring down a tree, you are supposed to plant 2 trees. To combat environmental issues, the Lions Club International Federation is supporting lions and leos in their endeavors to create positive environmental change. And in order to maintain the sustainability of life, LCIF is dedicated to help members all over the world to take on large-scale projects that will create a healthy future for generations to come. There are several recycling LCIF programs established to provide access to clean water in all areas to keep the earth at its best condition. In 2021, Lions Club International Federation awarded 12 environmental related grants totaling over $52,000. That equates to about 29 million naira. Another novel example of the impact of the Lions Club of the environment happened in Mumbai, India, during the lockdown. On the observation of the deplorable and disheartening economical condition of the train station with piles of trash scattered over the ground and left there to sit, the LCIF awarded 12 Leo clubs within District 3231A3 a $2,500 Leo service grant with trash bags, gloves, and pits donated by the local transit authority. The Leos from 12 clubs cleaned up the railway stations, leaving tracks and walkways, leaving a refreshed and safe station. Ideally, the provision of healthcare should be available at unreached communities. I probably stated it this way. People say you should stay in the cosmopolitan area, but we must focus on putting healthcare in the rural areas. Not only in the townships and cosmopolitan areas. Access to healthcare must also include financing and subsidy of healthcare services, mobilization to organization of community, co-finances of healthcare services, promotion and equity concerns in resource allocation. Healthcare must also be funded, and healthcare resources like vaccine for disease prevention, condoms for family planning, and bed nets for malaria prevention must be provided and equitably distributed. Some of the healthcare projects successfully conducted by the Lions Club International in the specialty of ophthalmology have been stated today. I call them eye service, and I mean it in a positive way. Provision of high quality cataract surgery to underdeserved population as part of the development of comprehensive eye care service. Reduction of correction of refractive errors as part of the provision of sustainable comprehensive eye care services, and an emphasis on school-based efforts. Promotion of cooperation between diabetic eye disease and diabetes mellitus care providers to ensure that the provision of patient-centered care. Other healthcare services provided are provision of support to international campaign to eradicate guinea worm, which was through the Carter Center in the US, worked closely with the World Health Organization, Ministry of Health and local communities. Of course, we have Peace Corps volunteers, provision of assistance in the global smallpox eradication. I'm a living witness to projects established and completed in the Lagos State University Teaching Hospital when I served as Chief Medical Director between January 2011 to December 2018. This includes the construction of a 2-story cancer center. I think I'm looking at the origin of that. Renovation of the diabetic center, construction of the pediatric parent waiting area, and donation of several drugs to support pediatric care. As we speak, at the Lagos University Hospital, where I have returned, a huge project is ongoing. The Lion Olusola Dada Nephrology and Urology Center. Completed now. It's ongoing. It has to be equipped. The surgical, I'm on ground there. The surgical part is yet to be. But the medical aspects of work. Is Mrs. Dada here? No, she's not. When fully completed, it's already working for medical kidney problems, but when the theater has been installed, then we'll cater for both adults and children's problems, patients with kidney issues. There have been worldwide evolution of politics, which has resulted in differences in the mode of governance. In a presidential system of government, the head of state is the head of government and is independent of legislature. In the semi-presidential system, the head of state has some executive powers and is independent of legislature, with remaining executive power vested in ministry that is subject to parliamentary confidence. In a republic, an executive president is nominated by or elected by the legislature, the president being both head of state and government. In the parliamentary system or parliamentary democracy, the executive derives its democratic legitimacy from its ability to command the support and confidence of the legislature, typically a parliament to which it is accountable. In a constitutional monarchy, the head of state is mostly or entirely ceremonial. Ministries is subject to parliamentary confidence, while a self-constitutional monarchy, the head of state is executive, while the monarch personally exercises power in concert with other institutions. The head of state is executive with all authorities vested in him in an absolute monarchy. In a one-party state, the head of state is executive or ceremonial, neither executive or ceremonial, with power constitutionally linked to a single political movement. It is important to note that there are countries in which constitutional provisions for government have been suspended, like in a military dictatorship, and there are some with transitional government. The success of any NGO gets the political terrain, which every club, wherever the club is located, as different countries have peculiar systems of governance. This will enable the clubs to do more effectively develop advocacy and support in policy settings, which will provide the opportunity to give a voice to the marginalized group. Playing the politics will facilitate the acquisition of information policy and quality and promote access and equity of service that can be provided as a means of determining useful community-directed intervention. Lions Club International Federation was founded in Evansville, Indiana, 106 years ago by William Terry Woods, and subsequently evolved as an international service organization under the guidance and supervision of its secretary, Melvin Jones. Currently, there are 48,000 clubs scattered all over the world, consisting of about 1.4 million members in over 200 countries. The Lions motto, we serve, is we serve, and the Lions local club program includes sight conversion, hearing and speech conversion, diabetes awareness, youth outreach, international relations, environmental issues, and many other programs. The discussion of partisan politics and sectarian religion is forbidden with our club. The Lions acronym stands for Liberty, Intelligence, and Nation Safety. The club has successfully operated in all these countries, successfully navigating their political terrain. In addition, Lions and Leos are trained to encourage to engage in advocacy anytime they encounter any cause they care about, educate their community members on important issues, and create positive changes. Disease elimination without effective treatment does not exist, and the eradication of communicable disease cannot happen if preventive measures such as vaccinations are unavailable. Curative intervention will not be successful with the use of medications that cannot completely eliminate the causative pathogen. Risk factor management is the most effective method for the prevention and reduction of non-communicable diseases, such as control of tobacco use, engaging in safe, and the watchword is safe physical exercise. The exercises are not safe, so you must watch out when you exercise. And the consumption of healthy diet. This is the focus of the WHO's initiative to prevent death from NCDs. Lions Club International Federation believes that collaborative action is the secret to success in the fight against public health causes. Communication, coordination, and teamwork are essential to enacting real change. and shifting the health trajectory of entire communities. Through the LCIF general support, the Carter Center in the US has been fortunate to celebrate many public health achievements, such as improving quality of life and health care for people living in 7 countries across Africa and 6 countries in the Americas. The provision of 189 million antibiotic treatments to address trachoma, performing 820,000 site-saving surgeries in these focused countries, building 3.3 million latrines to protect citizens against further trachoma infection has played a significant role in blindness prevention and cure. Diabetes screening programs and career screening, including childhood cancers, has also been developed. LCIF has also provided polio vaccine for global polio eradication initiative and also anti-hunger campaign. Research plays an important role in discovering new treatments and ensuring that existing treatments are used in the best possible way. Research can find answers to things that are unknown, fill gaps in knowledge, and change the way that healthcare professionals work. Research assists in priority setting and knowledge translation to action. Good research and interpretation of evidence and translates its relevance to local communities, which improves the assessment and evaluation opportunities for advocacy and intervention. The purpose of research is to enhance society by advancing knowledge through scientific theory, concepts, and ideas, and can be met through forming hypotheses, collecting data, analyzing their results. The LCIF offers several research grants in many fields of study. I've mentioned the $52 million research grant earlier. The LCIF standard grant is a matching grant opportunity available to Lions District and multiple districts. This Lion-led services projects focus on addressing unmet humanitarian needs in local communities. There is also the Lions Club Research Grant, which aims to improve global quality of life. This grant provided the opportunity for 600 KwaZulu Natal textile factory workers to have their visions examined at their workspace through a 12-month research study program funded by the Lions Club. Common challenges faced by NGOs are lack of access to funding, poor funding strategies, over-reliance on donor funds, and susceptibility to undue donor influence. Lack of proper inter-NGO partnership leading to unnecessary duplication of efforts. Lack of good governance. For instance, where members and friends serve as board members with poor management output. These are frequently encountered challenges by NGOs. Lions Club has survived over the past 100 years because of its solid global network and building system that has consistently overcome these challenges. LGI over the years has been effective because of its creation of sustainable plans, consistent and regular review and evaluation of its processes, appropriate budgeting, strategies for continuous fundraising, identifying and engaging good partnerships. I am sure that this will continue to improve as we get better and better with time. My lecture cannot end without telling a short story of my story and Lionism. I was opportunity to become a member of Lions Club over 25 years ago. A Go Club in Surulere. I was happy and privileged to have ascended the post of president of the club under 2 distinguished past PDGs. That's late Lion engineer Kola Adewale, MJF, NC, LLCF, and Lion engineer Ademola Ajayi, OFR, MJF, NLCF. I have mentioned earlier about Lion Alex Rutile. I think about the name. Working with them provided me with the opportunity to imbibe the character that made me a better man and an active member. I learned to be morally upright, noble, and focused. The character every member of the Lions Club must possess. The spirit of selflessness that I acquired from working with other members of the club in the performance of multiple humanitarian projects before and even after I became president. I will never forget our tail twister and jester, in quote, the late Adewale, okay, who labeled himself my opposite because he considered himself as a doctor practicing alternative medicine. The virtue of patience I imbibed by understanding Lion Busari and my good friend Lion MJ Adewale. Is he here? Any of them here? Lion Busari. Female, okay. Please tell male as I. The virtue of patience I imbibed on sign Lion Busari and my good friend Lion MJ Adewale. My crowning achievement was the establishment of the Ikeja Lasuit Lions Club under my supervision and the Chief Medical Director. Lion Adewale Stella Ebeolu, is she here? She was elected as the Charter Lions President. My other memorable achievement, and I make bold to say it here because I have a living witness, is completing presentation of my research conducted at the request of Lion Princess Adetope B. Typos, TMGF, LLCF. The assignment was to provide a list of all old people's homes and schools for the physically challenged in Nigeria and make recommendations that will provide relief, succor, and support which the Lions Club could offer. Two, let me express some of my fears. The economy is really bad. And it appears that clubs in Africa, particularly Nigeria, are losing membership. Our young ones and indeed youth are not joining our clubs as fast as we did. This is because our currency continues to depreciate. Payment of the outbook due is increasingly becoming very difficult. And I think there's a dire need for us to attend to this challenge. In conclusion, there has been an explosion of NGOs in recent years which has contributed positively to improving human health and development globally. The scope and intensity of global health challenges ensure that no single country or agency can work alone to meet them, so we have to work together. NGOs have played a vital role in global health improvement. I will continue to do so. We have worked hard to shape global health policies. We, Lions Club, have worked hard to shape global policies and to fund, implement, and evaluate programs. There is even greater potential for further improvement of global health initiatives through systemic collaboration between governments and NGOs in the years to come. Lions Club International Federation has achieved all these goals and more by doing our best. We have impacted the world positively, and we are here to stay because we will continue to serve. Thank you very much for your attention.
Lion Professor Wale Okay. Thank you very much for that very wonderful lecture. We say thank you very much. Please, Lions, please be seated. Okay, fellow Lions. Lions Day with the United Nations. This is symbolizing and representing the unity between Lions Clubs International and the United Nations, in which Marvin Jones and other members of the Lions Clubs International. Okay, I was told that they should come together. Okay. In which Lions Club was invited to be part of those who drafted the charter, the humanitarian charter of the United Nations. So, fellow Lions, after the spelling of Lions, we shall have the exchange between Lions Club International and United Nations. Can we spell Lions together? 1, 2, go.
Femi.